President Ledesma. While waiting for the Supreme Court's decision, sana po may resulta na po ang mga pangakong binitawan niyo po sa mga previous hearing. Pangatlong hearing na po ito. Gaano katagal pa ba maghihintay ang mga pasyente? Hintayin pa ba natin? Mamatay na lang po yung ibang mga pasyente na hindi pa nila na avail ang kanilang dapat na ma-avail from PhilHealth. While PhilHealth has a proposed budget of 74 billion for next year, which they may yet again fail to efficiently utilize, our specialty hospitals suffer from budget cuts in their proposed budget. Kindly take note of this, DOH. No? The proposed budget for the Lung Center of the Philippines is reduced to 711.3 million in 2025 from 791 million in 2024. Binawasan. NKTI has been allocated 1.49 billion in 2025, which is a reduction from its 1.63 billion in 2024. The Philippine Heart Center also suffered a budget cut from 2.41 billion in 2024, naging 2.21 billion na lang po in 2025. The Philippine Children's Medical Center has a proposed budget of 1.40 billion in 2025, a decrease from 1.96 billion in 2024. Tingnan niyo po yung pumipila dito sa mga hospital na ito. Puro po mga mahirap nating kababayan. Dapat po dapat nga i-increase pa ito, knowing na ang dami pong pondo ng PhilHealth para ma-avail naman po ng mga kababayan nating mahirap. Nakapila po yan dyan sa labas. Hanggang ngayon, yung mga pasyente, mga kamag-anak, nagmamakaawang pumunta rito sa Senado, humingi ng tulong hanggang ngayon. Kaya, nung 2020 budget deliberation ng RITM, hindi po ako pumayag na bawasan po ang pondo ng RITM. Ni-reduce ng DOH. Alam nyo, kutob ko lang po. Hindi ako pumayag. Nagkatotoo po yung kutob ko. Sino ba mag-expect darating yung pandemya ng 2020? Binawasan nila ang RITM ng ilang milyon. Yun pala, pagdating ng 2020, yun ang pinaka-importanting opisina na kakandak ng test na pinapadala pa po sa Australia. 1 week pa yung resulta. So, lessons learned tayo dito. The more we should invest sa ating health care. Meanwhile, according to the DOH, government hospitals still have 14.8 billion in unpaid claims from PhilHealth. Government hospital na hindi nyo pa nababayaran. This is why we will thoroughly scrutinize the proposed budget of PhilHealth in the upcoming budget deliberations. We also take notice that the Supreme Court already set the oral arguments regarding the cases filed before it on January 14, 2025. By then, nalipat na po siguro yung buong 89.9 billion. Although we recognize the independence of the judiciary as a co-equal branch of government, sana po yung mabilis po ito, madesisyon na kagad. Dahil this affects the benefits ought to be received by millions of Filipinos. By the time makapag-desisyon sila, tapos na. Ilan pong Pilipino pang matutulungan ng mga pasyenteng mahirap dito sa 89 billion. Doon nasa korte na po yan. Ang pakiusap ko lang po sa ating PhilHealth, sa natitirang pondo nyo po, yung 5 punto po dito. Increase case rates, lessen the out-of-pocket expenditures, bawasan po yung premium contributions, increase benefit packages, remove single confinement policy, at marami pang iba. Utilize your funds, please, PhilHealth. I'm appealing to you. Maraming salamat po. Para sa akin, ang kapakanan at kalusugan ng Pilipino ay hindi po dapat pinaghihintay. Ulitin ko po, ang pondo ng PhilHealth ay para po sa health gamitin. Imbis na pinapatulog ng PhilHealth ang pondong pangkalusugan na mula naman po sa taong bayan at para po sa taong bayan yan. We will continue to fight for affordable and accessible healthcare for our people and oppose anti-poor policies of PhilHealth. May we start our discussion?
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Go ahead po.
Can I be allowed to give a brief opening statement, sir?
Sandali. Kasi since nakailang hearings na po tayo, we will request the COMSEC to administer the oath lang, no. Napaka-importante po to hearing before you give your opening statement po. Lahat na lang.
May I request everyone po yung nasa circle and then yung mga tinawag ko po sa labas, nasa outer seats, pwede pong mag-oath na rin. Para in case na tawagin kayo, hindi na po kayo mag-oath mamaya uli. Thank you. Can you raise your right hand po? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this inquiry in aid of legislation of the Committee on Health? You say, I do po. You may now say thank you.
You may start your opening. You may give your opening statement.
Thank you, Honorable Mr. Chair, Senator Bongo. Good morning, and rest assured, Senator Go, all that you mentioned earlier is taken into consideration at PhilHealth. And we just want to mention again that, Senator, every time you call a hearing in aid of legislation, kahit weekend po, kahit may bagyo po, PhilHealth is always in perfect attendance po. No? So we're fully supportive of all that you do for the health sector. Also, Senator, we hear your 5 points that you want PhilHealth to tackle, and I'm sure that will all be brought up during the hearing. But I just want to mention before the hearing starts that around a week ago, Senator, we were in Congress. PhilHealth was in Congress with DOH for the budget hearing, no, appropriations. And we were there for 14 hours straight. And it was during that hearing that I had mentioned to the chair, Kong Stella and Kong Garin, no, that we are currently reviewing in PhilHealth, no, we're currently reviewing a up to a 50% increase on all case rates almost across the board. And we feel we can submit that before the year ends, no. In line with that, Senator, nung sinabi ko yan, sabi po ng committee ng hearing, sabi na masyadong matagal yung year end. So pinapaspasan po namin, hopefully maybe within 1 to 2 months po, mare-recommend na namin po yan, no, and maybe eventually shortly thereafter implement it, no. Now, in line with that, Senator Go, so we were considering a 50% increase of case rates almost across the board. Maganda po yung sinuggest ni Kong Stella Kimbo. Sabi niya, kasi masyadong inflationary po yon. Although we do full rationalization, no. Dahil sinuggest ni Kong Stella masyadong inflationary yon, what we decided to do, Senator Go, instead of recommending a almost across the board 50% increase, what we will do is we will focus on the top 10 most common diseases in terms of mortality and morbidity, and we will focus on increasing those top 10. Kahit iba-iba, hindi.
Sa ngayon, 30% ang in-increase nyo.
Sa ngayon po, last February 14, we increased by 30% almost across the board.
Pwede mong ma-explain itong case rate? Kasi ang taas tingnan 30%. Tas before the year ends, sasabihin niyo 60%. Pwede niyo bang maklaro sa publiko kung yung computation niya? Kasi parang sa tingin ko napakababa pa rin
Yes po.
Baka mamaya 1,000 lang yung sa i-cover ng sa 300,000 in-increase nyo. Baka 1,000 lang tapos in-increase nyo ulit ng 30%. 2,000 lang.
Actually,
Pwede nyo i-explain na mabuti. Magbigay kayo ng example.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, if we're given the chance during the hearing, we'll papa-explain namin po very in details para maintindihan po ng Honorable Committee. So going back to that, Senator, So we committed that, no? We committed that to the House committee, no? And instead of the 50% increase almost across the board, we will look at increasing the top 10 most common diseases, no? Based on mortality and morbidity. And just for the information of this honorable committee, those top 10 diseases comprise almost 80% of the total case rates. So halos ganun na rin yan po. Kasi almost covered na rin yan eh. So it will come out almost across the board na rin po. No. Secondly, sir, on your honorable chair, on your other issues, no, we're prepared to address it later, no, in detail, yung single period of confinement and then yung payment of claims to hospitals, no. Very briefly on the 15 billion yung utang po namin sa DOH, no, na sinasabi ninyo po at sinasabi ni Sec. Herbosa, no. Again, we are currently doing reconciliation on those, no. And I'm confident after the reconciliation po, yung 15 billion na yan, siguro magiging mga 3 to 4 billion na lang yan. So yan yung talagang totoo, 'di ba? So pag madinig nyo or magbasa kayo na 15 billion ng utang ng PhilHealth, hindi po totoo yun. Diba? Dahil marami dyan RTH, marami dyan denied, diba? So I keep on reiterating sana, I keep on asking Honorable Secretary Herbosa, no? Sana wag ka muna magsabi sa media na mga ganun. Kasi yung statements na ganun, pag pinipick up, ibang nakukuha ng mga tao eh, diba? So I've asked him a couple of times, although it seems like, I mean, he really feels maybe he wants to get paid, no? So we're doing reconciliation immediately po, and we will.
Ito yung sa mga government hospitals?
Yes po, yung 14.8 billion na minention.
Wala nang sa private hospitals dito?
Wala po.
So wala na kayong...
Excluded po ang private hospitals po.
Hindi, I mean, wala na kayong payable sa private hospitals? Wala na silang reklamo sa ngayon? Pero lang dito merong mga...
Actually, sorry, Senator. Actually, they're all very, very happy with the improvements in the payments of claims on the private side.
So wala nang mga reklamong payable sa kanila?
Actually, wala na mga reklamo. In fact, ang maraming ang nakukuha namin, hindi reklamo, puro commendations at saka pasasalamat
Alam mo na,
po.
importante rin yun, aside from government hospitals, itong mga private hospitals. Kasi kailangan rin nilang mag-roll, no? Paikutin yung operational expenses rin nila, operational funds nila.
Yes.
Wala naman silang pangsweldo sa mga medical workers kung wala silang pondo. So dapat hindi matagalan yung kanilang claims. Not only sa mga government hospitals, including private hospitals din. Tingnan niyo rin po ng mabuti. Since andyan dyan naman po ang pondo ng PhilHealth.
Yes po.
Buti sana kung nangutang kayo, wala kayong pambayad, dyan yung pondo eh.
Yes po.
Sobra-sobra yung pondo ninyo. Kung valid naman yung claims, wag nyo nang patagalin. Kailangan rin nilang umikot rin po ang kanilang panggasto sa hospital.
Yes po. Po on the point of the reduction of the premium contribution which I promised you and you aired earlier. I looked at the Senate amendment that you are passing po. I think you're an author of that bill, no? Maganda po 'yon. I'd like to reiterate that we are fully supportive of that reduction in premium contribution. And what we will need to do, Senator, is we will have to bring that up to the board of directors in PhilHealth, no? And I'm not so sure that everyone is supportive. Basta ako personally, as vice chair and as president, I'm fully supportive.
Ito yung-
But I will have to discuss it.
Aside from sa batas na ito, na amending the universal healthcare, to reducing the premium contribution from 5% to 3.25% sa 2025. Bill pa ito, no? Pumasa na
Yes.
dito sa Senado.
Yes po.
At sana'y magiging batas po ito. Pero pwera dyan, before we pass it, nangako ka noon, sabi mo, you will recommend to the President, no, na i-reduce po yung premium contribution. Kumusta na po inyong recommendation sa Presidente?
Actually, we've been doing studies po now. We've came out with very similar to the Senate amendment. So what I was planning to do is I would just put it together, then recommend it to the board of directors. Because I cannot go naman directly to the president eh. Kailangan kumuha ng approval sa board of directors. So I'll have to see if the board will go along with it, no? Clearly, if the board doesn't go along with it, wala akong magagawa. My hands are tied, Senator. No? So yan ang plano ko sana. Kasi maganda na yung very, very similar siya sa Senate Amendment. Maganda yung reduction Maganda yung suggestion dun
So, ibig sabihin, pabor ka rito sa may pasa itong batas na to, reduce it.
Oh, definitely. 110% po.
May pakiusap lang ako sa iyo, President Ledesma. Sa magiging decision mo parate, isipin mo lang parate yung mga mahirap nating kababayan, yung mga pasyente. Yun lang parate mong isipin. Hindi ka magkakamali doon. Isaalang-alang mo parate yung kapakanan ng mga mahirap na pasyente na walang pambayad po. Yun lang po ang parate mong isipin yung mga mahirap nating kababayan. Hindi ka magkakamali dyan.
Thank you for that, Senator. Then, Senator, one more thing before I read my very brief opening statement. No, again, with regards to the 89.9 billion, because it's not only you, Honorable Senator, it's not only Honorable Raffy Tulfo. Everyone is texting me, calling me, saying, "Ba't hindi mo inisip yung health concerns ng mga tao? Pera ng health yan. Bakit mo ginagawa yan?" Again, I want to reiterate to this honorable committee and to everyone here in this room, I received a directive, which emanated from a cabinet meeting led by President Marcos, asking me to remit the 89.9 billion. So like a good soldier, I am following them, Now, I'm not a lawyer po, so of course, before I did it, I made sure I got clearance from COA, from GCG, and from OGCC. And today, I'm very happy to see my good friend here with us because yesterday, I don't know if you're aware, Solgen came out with a lot of opinions, very good opinions and statements, regarding this transfer, that it is legal, it is above board, blah 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 blah, and all that, So,
So you mean legally possible po ito?
yes po.
So legally possible yung
Again po, I'm not a lawyer, but that's my understanding based on the opinions of COA, GCG, OGCC, and as of yesterday, Solgen.
So legally lusot kayo, but for me morally unacceptable po itong pag-transfer. Marami pang naghihingalo ng mga kababayan natin. Walang pambayad sa hospital.
But Senator, I am just an ordinary member of this government. I was asked to do something. How can I go against it, sir?
Sa lahat ng magiging desisyon mo, isipin mo parate yung mga mahirap, yung mga pasyenteng naghihingalo na walang pambayad. Isipin mo lang parate yun. Isipin mo lang parate. Parate mong isipin yon sa
Yes.
magiging desisyon mo pa. Sa mga susunod pang mga policies na inyong isusulong, na i-amend, na ayusin, isipin mo yung pasyente. Please, yun lang ang isipin mo.
Yes, Senator. Yes, will do, Senator. Anyway, Senator, if I can, I'll just finish very briefly, So I'll just finish my opening statement and we can continue with the hearing. Thank you again, Senator Go. Good morning, Honorable Chair, Senator Go, Honorable Senator Raffy Tulfo. Again, in behalf of PhilHealth, we offer our sincerest thanks and gratitude for allowing PhilHealth to participate in this inquiry. With your permission, I offer this statement now in answer to previous questions from our honorable senators. It is my hope to clarify for our representatives and through them, our members, the steps the corporation has taken regarding the transfer of 89.9 billion funds. I first addressed the question, what did the corporation do with respect to the directive of the transfer? In the course of compliance po, like I said earlier, we sought guidance from our legal advisors, specifically the OGCC, the GCG, and COA. And as of yesterday, Solicitor General. All provided legal opinions that helped elucidate the matter and guided our actions.
Chair,
That
can I interrupt?
Go ahead po, baka may opening statement siya.
Yeah, because I've been going from one hearing to another. So, baka I can take this opportunity para maitanong ko rin mga dapat itanong. And then lilipat ulit ako sa kabilang committee. First of all, natutuwa naman ako kay Mr. Emmanuel Ledesma, Chief Executive Officer ng PhilHealth, because during the last hearing, lahat ng mga tinanong ko sa kanya at sinabi ko sa kanya, sabi niya, kinol niya, of course, mangyayari yon. and I really appreciate that. Sisingilin ko lang sa iyo ngayon kung ano ng development at kung yung iyong pinangako ay tuloy pa rin at mangyayari pa rin. Number one doon, wala nang copay, especially sa mga mahirap nating kababayan at sa mga senior citizen. Let's start with ultrasound, MRI, CT scan, pulmonary workup, SGPT, eye test, and ear exam. Yan ba ay libre na? Gusto ko maging libre na po yan kasi sobra-sobra po yung budget ng PhilHealth. In fact, kasi sobrang daming budget, umaapaw na, magbabalik pa kayo ng pera sa National Treasury. So, ano pong status nito na pag-usapan natin na sabi mo agree and you agreed na wala nang bayad?
Thank you very much, Senator Raffy Tulfo. No? So with your permission, and Senator Go, if I can be allowed maybe later on na lang to finish my opening statement. But Senator, yes, before I pass on the mic to our COO, Eli Santos, I want to assure you and this honorable committee, no? Basta pag may sinabing PhilHealth na gagawin namin at pa-promise namin, talagang mangyari po yan.
So-
Rest assured yan po.
So-
Anyway, if I can allow Attorney Eli to address your
Yes,
question.
and then follow-up question, kailan po mag-uumpisa na libre na po, covered na ng PhilHealth, ang ultrasound, MRI, CT scan, pulmonary workup, SGPT, eye test, ear exam, even yung pong sa cleaning ng ngipin.
Yeah.
Kasi sa ngayon, hindi po covered yon. So gusto ko po covered yon at walang copay, especially pag sa mga mahirap nating kababayan. At sabi niyo po, it will be done. Ano pong status, sir?
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, on the no co-payment for the senior citizen and indigent, our objective is to include this in the increase of the all case rates from 30 to 50%. So in that policy, we will include a provision on no co-payment to apply to senior citizen, indigent, and PWD members. Also in this policy, we will include the provision on the removal of the rule of single period of confinement, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, and on the promises of PhilHealth to cover CT scan, ultrasound, MRI, pulmonary workup, eye and ear exam, and SGPT, we are still studying this, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, but we commit to comply with this directive within the year, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator
So
Tulfo.
pag-aaralan niyo pa lang po. So when you say pag-aaralan pa lang, sigurado na ba o hindi sigurado? Ang gusto ko pong sagot, sigurado, pag-aaralan namin kung paano magiging sistema na para mangyari po yun. That's what I want to hear and that will be music to my ears.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, we are studying it to include the same in our coverage for senior citizen, indigent, PWD, with a provision on no co-payment. Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator.
No co-payment. So ibig sabihin, mangyari pa rin talaga yun. Yun nga lang kung paano maging setup, paano yung maging sistema para mapasok na sila doon sa no co-pay, covered ito yung mga nabanggit natin, at then no co-pay especially sa mga indigent, not even indigent, sa mga minimum wage earners. They're not considered indigent pero mababa yung kanilang sweldo, tama-tama lang, wala na silang dapat babayaran na co-pay or out-of-pocket expense. I'm talking about minimum wage earners po.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, this will fully apply if the minimum wage earners will be admitted or confined in government facilities and government-owned institutions, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo. So yes to that, sir.
No, not even sa government institution. Kasi there are times na puno na po yung ospital sa government, pila-pila na, kailangan na ma-confine, kailangan na ma-check up yung isang pasyente at ang available time ay yung na pwede sila ma-accommodate ay sa private. So dapat pati sa private din. Pagdating po sa, of course, sa pagkakataon na puno na po yung General Hospital at some sort of an emergency, Unless kung elective, of course. Pero kung hindi elective, it's an emergency and the patient needs to be accepted and needs to be checked agad-agad, maski na sa private hospitals, dapat covered at walang copay. And I'm talking about minimum wage earner. Para
With that said, Senator,
Sandali po. Kasi
Sorry po.
ang gusto ko naman po, I don't want our minimum wage earners to be treated as second-class citizen. Kailangan makatikim din sila ng serbisyo ng private hospitals. Kasi sa ngayon, nakakatikim lang ng serbisyo ng private hospitals ay yung mga can afford. Pag minimum wage earner ka, hindi ka pwede pumunta ng ospital dahil ng private, dahil magbabayad ka, malaking copay dyan, etc. So, I don't want our minimum wage earners to be treated as second-class citizens. So, go ahead po, Mr. Despa.
with that said, and apologies earlier for cutting you, Senator Tulfo. With that said, sir, we will include private hospitals then.
Thank you
In our
very
study.
much. So,
Welcome,
I can download that. And this is recorded, ano? Pwede ko kayong balikan, singilin.
Yes, sir.
Yan ang gusto ko sa Mr. Ledesma. Palagi mong kinukol yung mga request namin dito, lalo pat kung mahirap na kababayan ang ating pinag-usapan. So, pro-poor ka pala talaga. Thank you for that.
Basta makatulong po kami, Senator Tulfo, we're always there po.
Okay. Prophylaxis, yung teeth cleaning, dapat covered yan at libre. Especially sa mga minimum wage earner, again, sa mga senior citizen. Dahil ang dami ko nakikita, in fact, I talked to some people sa DOH na isa sa mga problema ng ating bansa ngayon, yung sira-sirang ngipin at napakaraming mga bungal ng mga kababayan natin because they cannot afford yung libreng linis ng ngipin. Ang nagpapalinis sila pag bulok na yung ngipin nila, pag pupunta sa dentist, bulok na, saka palang sila magpapa-check up at yun pala, hindi na maremedyoan, bubunutan sila and then pag nabunutan sila, bungal sila, wala silang pambayad ng pustiso. So, gusto ko covered yan, pati yung pustiso covered. Libre. As in free, F-R-E-E. Sir.
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, at present we are working with Yusek Chong of the Department of Health to develop a separate package for dental prophylaxis and any preventive dental measures to prevent dental caries and other dental pathology, Mr. Chairperson. Yes to that, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo.
Okay, kasi sa ngayon po, hindi po libre yung dental prophylaxis. Tama. So I want it free. Totally. Kasi mas maganda yung bago pa man mangyari yung sakit o yung problema, na-address na sa pamagitan ng early check-up. Makatipid pa tayo, di ba? So free na po At hindi kailangan public dental clinic. Pati sa private, allowed sila. Of course, syempre, screen nyo. Dapat may mga accredited na mga dental clinic na baka naman tagain kayo dyan sa PhilHealth. Ayoko naman mangyari po yun. Na hindi kayo pagsasamantalahan din. So basta't yung dental prophylaxis, libre na po sa lahat ng mga especially senior citizen, minimum wage earners, and PWDs. Libre na po. Very good.
We will include it in our consulta package po.
Thank you,
Senator Tulfo.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. How about doon po sa tinatawag na gamot program para sa mga seniors? Gusto ko po, libre na rin po yung mga maintenance para sa mga senior citizen. Lalo rin mga maintenance para sa puso, diabetes, dapat libre na po.
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, at present, these are already covered by the Consulta program. Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator
Program,
Tulfo.
sir?
The Consulta program, Mr. Chairperson.
Libre po sa mga senior citizen?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson.
Lahat?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. Not only senior citizen, but all members of PhilHealth that are registered under the Consulta program, Mr. Chairperson.
So wala
Honorable
pong
Senator.
copay?
There is no copay in the government sector, Mr. Chairperson. However, in the private sector, there's a maximum limit of 750 pesos as part of the copayment, Mr. Chairperson. Honorable Senator Tulfo.
Para saan po yung copayment?
This only pertains to the private facilities that are offering consulta services, Mr. Chairperson. Honorable Senator
No.
Tulfo.
Not consulta. I mean, yung gamot, the medicine itself.
Yes, that's correct.
Regardless, kung halimbawa pupunta sa private hospital, itong kababayan natin, at mahirap siya, and then niresetahan siya ng doktor sa pagkukonsulta. So, yung gamot na yon dapat libre.
That's correct, Mr. Chairperson.
Very
Honorable
good.
Senator Tulfo. It's covered under the Consulta program.
Under consulta at 100% coverage.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson.
Ano-ano po yung mga maintenance na libre po?
May I be given a time, Mr. Chairperson,
Okay.
Honorable Senator Tulfo, to check on the specific name of the drugs
Yung
covered?
usually mga sakit ng mga kababayan natin, yung diabetes, high blood.
Attorney Eli, iklaro mo lang sa publiko saan nila to ma-avail itong mga ina-explain mo. Saan nila pwedeng i-avail? Kung sabi mo konsulta program sa mga super health center ba, sa mga rural health units, sa mga provincial hospital, saan nila pwedeng i-avail itong sinasabi mo para maintindihan po ng publiko?
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, PhilHealth has implemented the Consulta program to implement primary healthcare in the country. So there are several accredited Consulta providers in the country, all over the Philippines. There are public facilities as well as private. We accredit rural health centers, city health centers, level 1 hospitals, infirmary that is capable of delivering consulta or primary care.
So
Services.
paano po nalalaman o malalaman ng mga pasyente na meron palang konsulta program dito or pag private, ito pala accredited at dito natin magpakonsulta and then maresetahan ako ng gamot libre, complements of PhilHealth, paano po malalaman? Anong klaseng information dissemination meron kayong ginagawa?
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, at present, through the leadership of PCO Mandy Ledesma, we are increasing our information dissemination through our employees in the region. We're also announcing this information through radio as well as in TV programs, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo.
So meron pa kayong TV and radio ads.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson.
And on top of that, active kayo sa social media para impormahan yung publiko na there is such a very beautiful program for the poor, especially pertaining to maintenance, medicines.
Mr.
Para sa
Chair.
mga senior citizens and indigents. Go ahead po, sir.
Sir, thank you. Just want to add what CO Eli said, no? So there are currently around 2,800 consulta accredited providers all over, no? We call them the KPPs. Now, with regards to information dissemination, sir, the company is going all out in trying to disseminate all of this information, no? And like I mentioned in one of the previous hearings, including Honorable Congressman Erwin Tulfo has offered to help us. Speaker Martin Romualdez has offered to help us because their point is very good. Sabi nila, sayang naman lahat ng trabaho nyo sa PhilHealth. Lahat naman ng ginagawa nyo, ini-increase nyo yung mga benefit packages nyo, marami kayong ginagawa, ini-improve nyo yung payments of claims. Pero kung hindi nalalaman ng mga taong bayan, sayang lang. So we are definitely, just to rest assured, this honorable committee, no, we are working very hard in information dissemination on anything and everything,
Thank you, sir. Dalawa na lang,
Welcome,
Mr. Chair. Yung pong suspension ng PhilHealth rate increase, mangyari po ba yun? Wag ho muna mag-increase ng rate. Kasi nga po, sobra-sobra po yung pera, di ba? Bilyon-bilyon ang sumobra at yung inyong savings.
Senator, can I address the question, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, wasn't
Senator,
kasi kanina.
Senator, thank you for your question. Actually, the increase this year po, nag-increase siya from 4% to 5%, no? Kasi last year po, nasuspend siya. Dapat last year, 4 to 4.5. Dahil nasuspend siya, January 1 of this year, nag-increase siya from 4 to 5%. Yung increase po this year, yan na po yung huling increase po by law. So talagang hindi na mag-increase yan. Now, in line with that po, Honorable Senator Go, I think you authored, there's an amendment that's about to be passed that will decrease the premium contribution. I think from 5 to 3.7.
The proposed amendments natin dito sa Senado,
Yeah.
from 5%
to 3.25
to
po.
3.25%.
Yes po.
by 2025.
Yes po.
Yun yung kung maipasa yung batas, di ba? Am I correct?
Yes, but I feel, Senator, I think
So, ire-recommend mo po ito.
110% po. We are fully behind you po.
So,
They're
supportive
fully
ka
supportive.
dito sa effort ng Senado.
Yes
to,
po, definitely
reduce.
po.
Pero sa level naman po ng PhilHealth, kumusta naman po yung effort ninyo? Aside from our effort na through amending the law, yung pinangako ninyo, sa tingin ninyo,
We were
anong
doing-
mas mauna sa tingin nyo?
Actually kasi, Senator, well, if the board will support us, if the PhilHealth board will support us, baka mauna kami, no? But again, like I said, I'm not so sure if the board will fully support us, no? But we'll keep you posted po, Senator.
You are
no?
the president of the board.
I'm the I sit as vice chair po. The chairman is Honorable DOH Secretary Ted Herbosa po.
But
I
you are,
sit as vice chair.
but
and-
you are the face of PhilHealth.
Okay.
Yes
Kayo
po.
pong nagpapatakbo, you're part of the EXICOM. Kung ano naman siguro ang rekomendasyon ninyo ay malaking weight po yun, no?
That's true po. Pero I don't know if you recall po, when I announced this in our last hearing, the next day, lumabas po sa newspaper si Secretary Herbosa. Sabi niya, he's strongly against it. In
Sa-
fact, yung exact words niya, what the hell is Ledesma talking about? No, he's never heard of anything like that, and he thinks it's outrageous.
So, ibig sabihin
I don't think I will be able to get his support on this po.
So, ibig mo sabihin, yung pinangako mo na irekomenda mo sa Pangulo, mananatiling pangako lang yon.
Hindi po. Gagawin ko po talaga, but I cannot go directly. I have to get clearance from the board of directors. So what I will do po, before going to President Marcos, I will take it up with the board of PhilHealth. Now, if the board shoots it down, I cannot go directly. But if the board supports me, then I will go to
So,
President
buti
Marcos.
na lang, nagpasa rin kami ng batas dito. ng
Exactly.
bill
Yes
dito.
po. Yes
Amending the Universal
Yes po.
Healthcare.
Yes po.
Para simultaneous, your efforts and the Senate's efforts.
Yes po. But we continue po to study. We shall continue to present it to the board. We shall continue to move it forward po.
Alam mo, dapat talagang babaan pa yan further yung premium contribution. Dahil may pondo kayong reserve.
Nga, sana pinapoint out ko, Mr. Chair, kasi nga sobrang daming pera ang PhilHealth, ang laki ng reserve, saka sa sobrang daming pera na nagsusoli pa sila, yung premium, kasi umaaray yung ilan mga kababayan natin, especially yung maliliit na kababayan natin na minimum wage earner. Kung may pagpatuloy ko lang po, Mr. Chair, dalawa na lamang, kasi during the last hearing, yung HITPIC kung tawagin. Okay, gusto ko lang ng konting explanation tungkol dyan dahil marami ako nakakausap din ng mga doktor na nagreklamo sila, hindi nababayaran yung bill nila on time kasi napakaraming HITPIC. Dapat isa lang yung capable na i-process lahat ng bills na sinasubmit ng lahat ng doktor, yun ang magpo-process, and then pag na-process yung malinis na, malalaman na kung yung ba ay karapat-dapat na bayaran o hindi, saka ipo-forward sa PhilHealth. Ang nangyari kasi ngayon, ang daming HITPIC. Ilan bang HITPIC meron kay 1 trilyon?
Actually, Senator, if I may, I knew you would bring up this question in this hearing. So we asked our SVP, our head of IT, Ma'am Jovi Aragona. She can address your questions much better po. She's very familiar with the whole system po. With
Opo.
your permission po.
Thank you, sir. At may dagdag ko lamang, so yung bawat HITPIC, may kanya-kanya silang program. So sometimes those programs that each HITPIC have, hindi tumutugma sa program ng PhilHealth, kaya deny dito, deny doon. And then there are times na pagdating ng mga bills sa HITPIC, para lamang mabawasan yung overload nila, dinideny outright. So, yung mga doktor, umaaray. So, marami sa mga doktor, hindi nababayaran. So, yung iba sa kanila, ang laki ng receivables, wag na lang ako magpa-accredited sa PhilHealth. Diba? Kuha na lang ako ng mga taong yung insurance company, HMO, or dili kaya cash pay. So, ang tanong ko po, ilan trilyon? I'm just being sarcastic na kasi balita ko ang daming HITPIC. Kailangan isa lang. Ilan po at paano po naging qualified yung naging qualified ito mga HITPICs na ito? Ito po yung service providers para dun sa mga hindi nakaalam kung ano pinag-usapan natin dito. Yes, ma'am.
Honorable Senator Tulfo, hindi na po HITP ang tawag sila ngayon, kundi service providers. Sa kasalukuyan, meron po tayong a total of for the service providers na certified, nasa 55 po.
55.
55 po.
Sa palagay nyo, konti pa lang yan?
Sa ngayon po sa status kasi almost of the hospital po ay meron ng e-claims, no? With that number, it could actually increase pero hindi na siya ganon kabilis or kataas kasi
Bakit po 55? Bakit po hindi isa? Like I said, I mentioned it earlier,
yes,
nung nasa California, naging biller din po ako para sa Medicaid or medical. They only have one service provider. Ang tawag nga doon, I don't know kung yun pa rin may contract, electronic data system. Isa lang po yun. Tayo ang dami.
so let me explain po. So ngayon po, wala po tayong accreditation ng HITP. Meron po tayong
Is that
tinatawag
HITPIC o HITP?
HITP. Hindi na po Health Information Technology Providers at hindi na po nag-accredit ang PhilHealth ng HITP. Ang ginagawa po natin ngayon ay yung tinatawag na software certification. Isang system lang po ang pinapatakbo ng PhilHealth. Ito po yung electronic claim system. Yung electronic claim system, ito po yung merong mga modules katulad ng eligibility checking, electronic submission po ng data. So
Kaya nga
isa
po-
lang po talaga yung e-claims po natin.
Isa lang ang e-claims coming from, okay, alimbawa, run me through, doctor's office. Ngayon, magbibil ako ng mga servisyo na ibigay ko sa mga pasyente. So, mamimili ako ng service providers nung dati HITP kung tawagin. Kung sinong gusto ko.
Opo po. Yung sa hospital po, klaro ko lang po, Honorable Senator Tulfo, yung mga hospitals po natin ngayon, meron silang mga kani-kanilang information system. So yung
No, ma'am.
information
No, ma'am.
system
Di tayo
nila,
nakaintindihan. Ang gusto kong mangyari, iisa lang po ang service provider para hindi po magkakalito-lituan dahil na-mention ko na kanina, bawat service provider, bawat HIT or HITP kung tawagin ninyo, magkakaiba-iba pong programa niyan. Kung
Yes.
minsan, hindi nagkakatugma-tugma doon sa program ng PhilHealth. Kaya left and right ang nagiging denial. There are HITP or service providers na madaling magka-overload sa system nila kaya outright denial sa mga bills. So dapat, ang gusto ko mangyari, isa na lang, kuha kayo ng capable na service provider na malaki nang sa gayon, uniform ang pag-submit ng bill, uniform